walk through a very systematic approach of doing things. Okay, I'm going to, even though it looks like Victor has set up some lighting here, I'm going to just for the purpose of this lecture, I'm going to start from scratch. And here we go. I'll remove the name also just for now. All right, guys, so here's a nice everyday lamp that we're going to light. And so I'm going to place always have a surface for the object to be placed on. So here's a plane. And here, this is what it looks like. And I'm also going to place a few objects around so that it's not just one single object, but a few things for things to be seen in relationship with. Okay, so here's one sphere. Place it here, and another one here. Okay, there we go. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is set up a camera. And for that, I'll create this my perspective camera is my default camera. I should always create something new. Create new, and I'll see this view through that. Perspective 1. So I can tell because of the name here. Now, while I have that camera under control, I'll give it its name. Now, let's say I don't have the camera under control. To select that camera, all you do is go to View, select Camera, and I'll call this Render Cam. Okay, and so I'll put this one as my normal working camera. Now, this render cam, I'd like to see exactly what it's going to see. So I would like to make sure that its camera settings says resolution gate. Now, see this resolution? It's 960 by 540. That's not exactly what I want. For the purpose of this class, I'd like a normal HD view. And here's how you set it. You go here, see, display render settings. Click on that. And don't worry, I have a tutorial that covers all this, guys. So I'll be giving that to you in a second. So here it is. I go to this, and under common, I'll choose, I'll choose, in fact, you can tell, see, this 960, 540 comes from here because that's the setting it's being using right now. What I would like is HD 720. In the ideal world, I'll say HD 1080, but the thing is, it takes longer to render larger resolutions. So HD 720 is sufficient for the class. So I choose that, and immediately that turned into 1280 by 720. You might recognize this as a typical YouTube setting or one of the YouTube settings. So this is the resolution to render in. Okay, good. So now I can see that this is my aspect rate, my proportions of the height to width is set, resolution is set, everything looks good. So I can stage it. Now when I stage it, I'm just starting, this is the starting point. Ultimately, the staging is going to be a combination of how the camera looks and also how the lighting is set up. So I'll give myself time to fully arrive at my look. But for now, I'm going to start off with something like this. There are many possibilities. I'll just choose this for now. Okay, now we have to decide how the lighting is going to be. I'm going to say that the lighting is going to be driven by, in this case, let's say the lamp itself is going to be the light. So I'm going to put a light inside this, casting down here, and that should be the key light. That'll be the main light. So let's do that. To do this, I will go ahead and create a light, spotlight, because spotlight and lamps go hand in hand. Don't you think? Here, spotlight. And I'll place this inside this exactly by doing this. Actually, just sort of curiosity, is this okay? Good. This was hierarchy, which is good. So I'll place. So I'm going to snap this right inside here. Place it somewhere right here where the bulb is going to be, and I'll press T, and I'll break it out and make it shine on here. Cool. There we go. All right. And you can adjust its position, its where it's looking at by just doing all that. Now, there we go. Cool. All right. Okay. Control A to get its to its real more important properties. I will cone angle. Let's go for something nice like that. Penumbra. Soften it just like this. Very good. And there you have it. Now I'd like to see what this looks like, because we should always work with this Arnold render view. So I'll place it here so you can see. And see, you can tell what camera it's going to be looking through by this little drop down. And I want a render cam. Press this. And you know what this means. It's too weak for it to even register with Arnold. So for Arnold, believe it or not, you should go for really intense values. So you're up to 1,000. So let's say 500. You'll be able to see, oh, that's not bad. 800. Okay, cool. I'll go with this. 800. And you can so get a decent value here, and then you can intensify it more by going to the Arnold section inside exposure, because you can expose it all the way to that, which you don't want to do. I've seen a lot of bad lighting like this, guys. Don't do that. Don't hurt our eyes. So it should be nice and stylish. Okay, that's not bad. And now I'd like to see more of that lamp in this, and you can tell what the situation is. That the reason I can't even see the lamp is because, well, this is only one key light, and you can see some interesting lighting coming from here, and that's because of its natural bounce. In fact, I'll show you this. There's this setting here called bounce. By default, it puts itself at 999. I don't know why that. Yes, 1 is sufficient. But bounce basically means how many times this ray of light hits the surface and bounces around. So 999 means it goes bounce once, then, and let's say there is actually bounce once, hits this, goes back 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes nuts, and it simply adds more time to render. 1 is sufficient. 3 is totally enough. For a purpose, maybe 1 to 3 should be sufficient. So if I put it to 0, notice that this is gone. See that? It's because it did not bounce even once. You need that one first bounce to get that light. Okay. All this I've put notes on what these things mean in my lecture. So I'm in my notes. So don't worry about it. Okay. So this is good. So this gives you an idea of what it looks like. Now at which point, let's see. Let me show you something interesting. You can go to View, Test Resolution, and say Fit Window Size. And this helps you in, just making a smaller view here so you can see these things, right? So View, Test Resolution, Windows, Fit Window Size. So you can see the whole thing in a small view. All right, so we got a key light going. Now I'm interested in a fill light. This fill light is, in this case, going to be some light that is, I'll cast from here downwards. For that, I'll use a create light, directional light. Directional light. So I'll place a directional light here. I'll scale it up, and thing about directional light is it's coming from the sun, you know, or pretend it's coming from a very far source. And so it's where I place it in the scene don't really matter much. The direction is all that matters. So okay, so I'm interested in the direction. So see what I mean is positioning it here or there don't really mean much. Okay, but the angling though makes a huge difference. Look at this. See, right? So I would like it to be coming from, yeah, something like that, not bad. And now I'll just work on the intensity. Intensity is here. The good way to work with a fill light is turn it all the way to 0 first, and then inch your way. And now here's a little tip. This number is very hard to spin, except for this, what's that, slider. It's much easier to spin the number if you go to the channel editor. Go to intensity and just, middle mouse drag, and you can go very tiny increments, which is how I like to work. All right, so go from 0 and just see what I like best. Okay, you know what? That's what I like. Call me crazy, but this is what I like. Now, I have, but it's up to you guys. You guys are the author in this. I want your eye to develop nicely. Okay, we got this, but now I'm thinking, what I would really like is for this fill light to kind of show the sides of this also, and maybe the sides of this. Let me see if I can do that. So let me try to change the direction of this a bit. It's not like that. Let me just zero this out first. Okay. Okay, I'm beginning to see something. Now let's see. Increase the intensity. I don't want that kind of intensity. I just want just a bit. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go with this. Now, there it is. So I have now a key light. I have a fill light. Now I'd like to use a third light. This third light is called backlight, remember? And sometimes it's called hair light, depending if it's a portraiture of a person. So it's a backlight. So the purpose of backlight is to highlight certain areas. So I'm thinking I'm going to highlight certain areas for sure, but not quite the back area, because the way this is staged, I don't have any need for things to look. And actually, I got an idea. I would like to cast a light just on this so that it kind of separates from this background. Okay, maybe this rim of this whole thing. Let's see if I can do that. And I should do that with not a directional light because it's too broad. Directional lights are great for fill. How about, let's see, what are the other options we have here? Ambient